Hey everyone, Cody from Mac Telecom Networks. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Unifi USW-24 Gen 2. I ordered the Unifi 16 PoE from Ubiquiti, but they ended up shipping this one. So we'll do a review on that, and then we'll do a review on the USW-16 PoE at a later date. If you guys are new here, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure to hit the bell icon. If you'd like to hire me for network consulting, visit www.mactelecomnetworks.com. You'd find us on Instagram at MacTelecomNetworks. And if you'd like to support the channel, we do have an Amazon store, and I'll put it in the description below. So first thing, let's get this unpackaged. Here's the box for the USW-24. At the top, they do have a pull paper tab to open it up. You'd see here, there's a pull tab to open up the box. On the inside, it's showing you a couple instructions on how to power it up and then download the Unifi app to get it adopted. And it also shows you a couple mounting options. It has the QR codes for the Unifi app as well. On the front, I'm going to assume that's a power supply or the power cord. All right, let's see what's in this box. So we have our racking ears. So they're two metal racking ears. And then we have our power cord. They also give us some cage nuts and some cage screws, as well as the USW quick start guide. The next thing in the box is our switch, and it comes very well packaged. I couldn't see this getting damaged in transport at all. These styrofoam pads are very thick. Comes with this nice cloth packaging, and we'll take that off. And here is our USW-24. So on the front, we have our LCD touch screen, and then we have our 24 ports. This is a non-PoE switch. We have two SFP uplinks, which are 1 gig uplinks, and then we have our reset button. If we look at the back, we have where our power connection will be going, and then we have a few screws, as well as a sticker covering one of the screws, which you may not be able to see. It's that little U, so that they know if you've opened the case or not. That's all that comes into the box. Let's go over some of the specs. Now we've seen what comes in the box, let's go over some of the specs of this switch. So like it said, it's a Unifi USW-24, which means it has 24 1 gigabit ports, and then it has two 1 gigabit SFP ports. It has the 1.3 inch touch display on the front of it. This is a 1U rack mountable switch, and you would manage it by your Unifi network controller. The switch is $289 MSRP Canadian, and this is a great price point for a managed 24 port switch. But if you are looking for power over Ethernet, you will have to go with something else. The total non-blocking throughput is 26 gigabits per second, and the switching capacity is 52 gigabits per second. So each port will have 1 gig receiving and 1 gig sending. In the network interfaces, you could have it going 10 megabits, 100 megabits per second, or a gigabit for RJ45 ports. So there's not much else to the switch. I'm going to connect this to my USW-16 Lite. This won't be in my production network. This is made for my lab network, which I have a Lab UDM Pro. But for now, I'll show you guys the adoption process. So we'll go over to my UDM Pro. And we could see here that the USW-24 Gen 2 is pending adoption, and we'll click on the switch and then we'll press adopt. All right, now the switch is adopted into our network. We could see that we have a firmware update here, and we're gonna press to upgrade. And then it's gonna upgrade from 5.6.0.11 to 5.43.23, and we'll press confirm. All right, now the switch is adopted. Let's see some of the settings. If we click on our switch, it will bring us just this general overview, so we could see our MAC address, the model number of the switch. We could see the version of firmware that it's running, the IP address that it currently has. There are no temperature sensors in this switch. It will show us the uptime and the memory usage, as well as the load average. We could check to see what our uplink is, and we're uplinked to the USW Lite switch PoE on port 7, and it's going at 1000 megabits per second at full duplex. It will also show us our down packets and our up packets. We could look at our downlinks. I don't have any currently connected. As you can see, we only have one uplink port connected on port 24. We could take a look at our client list, and we have no clients currently connected. And then we could look at our ports. So we could do per port insight, which will bring us to a statistics page. We could also click on each one of these ports, And right now this is just set to the profile of all, but if we wanted to specify it to be in a certain VLAN, we would just click and then we would specify that VLAN. We could also have a MAC filter, which has an allow list for the port, and we could also do a profile override. In the profile override, we could either have it switching, mirroring, or aggregate. So we could click on aggregate and then we could have it aggregate up to 8 ports. So if we wanted to have an 8 gig pipe going back to another switch, we could do that. And then we could change the link speed to either auto negotiate 1 gigabit, 100 megabits per second full duplex, 100 meg half duplex, 10 full, or 10 half. If we look at the config wheel, we could change the alias. I'll call this USW-24-G2. The screen setting I have set to on. The screen brightness, I'm using the default settings. Same with the screen timeout. If we look under the services, we could specify which VLAN we want to use as the management VLAN. If we wanted to turn on jumbo frames or flow control, we could do that here. We could also specify which type of spanning tree we want, if we want it rapid spanning tree or if we just want it the normal spanning tree. And we could turn on 802.1x control. Under our network, we could specify if we wanted to use DHCP or if we want to have it as a static IP. And then manage a device. This will just let you forget the device or force a provision or a custom upgrade. Under the tools, we could open a terminal and this will bring us to a command line interface. And then we could look at some of the stats, so CPU and memory utilization. So that's it for the USW-24 Generation 2. There's not much to the switch. If you're looking to add another switch into your network that doesn't require any PoE, I would recommend this switch. It's at a good price point for a managed 24 port switch. If you guys like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. All right, thanks.